Ashley,
Hello.
hello. Gonna change
Hey,
over
hi,
here.
hello.
Yes, you're here. I think I screwed up your.
Hi. Oh, hi, it's me.
Oh, hello. Wait. I got you. Wait, ready? Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? There you go.
Exactly. I'm
There
gonna
we go.
throw it on over. How have you been, man? How's it
Oh
going?
my gosh, I've been wonderful. How about you? How have you been? How is
How,
life?
it's been different. I've been working a lot lately. Um, so it's been difficult to get on streams and hang out with my friends.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but I mean, I started wanting to stream because that's where I hung out. That was before anything started. I don't even know how you got into it. You've been doing this longer than I have. I think for
I've been streaming since May of 2017, like mid-May. Pretty much like the 16th of May was when I started.
that's when
And
I
I've
started.
Oh my God, really?
That's when I started. Yeah.
Woo!
Wait, no, hang on. Wait, might have been. It's been 2 years. 2 years. Okay, 1 year after that in May.
In May, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so a full year longer than I have. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Got my dates mixed up. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
No, oh my gosh. Yeah, I honestly I wanted to be a content creator since I was like a young teen.
Yeah.
I started
It's
out
not that
making
long
YouTube
ago.
videos. Yeah, well, I'd say I started making YouTube videos like 10 years ago,
Damn. Okay.
with my
Yeah.
best friend. We used to make sketch videos and I was like, I love this. I loved content creation, but it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
And
So you
I've always
started
like
on
tried to keep
YouTube,
going
right?
back.
Like everybody
Mhm.
else. You started on YouTube, right? Like everybody else. I mean, that's how
Mhm.
I started. Same thing. Sketch video, sketch songs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you
That's
about them.
cool.
They're horrible.
Oh. I
Horrible.
still show my sketches to people because some of them are great, some of them are hilarious, but oh my gosh, it was so long ago now. Man,
Do you
I miss
suffer
it, but
from
I want to
that
start.
it's so bad it's good again thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I
Same.
just some of them are obviously like you're a teenager with an overactive imagination and a lot
Yeah.
of creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Too
Absolutely.
much drive and also too much stupidity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
wrote a 4 minute song about bacon, so if that gives you an idea.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's fantastic.
So every time I
Um,
see you, you are exploding. Like everything you make is just like absolute gold. Every time I check on your Twitter, and like there's not many Twitters that I'll go to by myself, but every single time I go there, you've come up with this crazy, short but direct, amazing content that is just absolutely exploded. I mean,
oh
and
gosh.
now was no exception. I mean, how are you keeping it up? How are you creating all this content?
Honestly, because I've been making videos for 10 years, I've also been editing for 10 years. Like I edited all my sketch videos myself, so
Yeah.
I'm really fast. So I can like whip out, cut down, put captions on and upload a video in like 10 minutes. It's
You're
like after
hired.
stream, I do it, get it up. I kind of it's since it's been so long that I've been kind of making these, I can get and gauge what's going to like what's funny. Like I basically use myself as a benchmark. Like if I make myself laugh, it's
Yeah.
it's good. And
Yeah.
now it's gotten to the point where when I do something on stream, chat will be like, "Well, that's going to go on Twitter later." And I'm like, "Absolutely it is."
I love that. I love that. So I mean it's a joint decision between you and your stream. What is and what
Basically,
isn't
yeah.
funny? Okay. Cool. If somebody wets themselves, generally probably gonna be viral content.
Oh my god. Oh man. Well, I mean, unfortunately, yeah, probably.
How long does it take you to create a clip? I mean, I know from personal experience, 20 minutes, whatever, like should be fine. Um,
Mhm.
but you not only create a clip, I have an editor. Even for podcasts, I have an editor, and
Mhm.
you're creating all this stuff yourself. So when you go and cut something up, and you like
Mhm.
zoom it in, and you like add all the captions and everything, you're doing that all yourself. And how long does it take you?
For short clips, probably 10 minutes. When
Right.
I have to compile it from longer, like when the last clip that I did was longer, I had to sift through over an hour of footage in stream to highlight it, then download it, and then cut it. And
Right.
that was just me looking for the crab in Animal Crossing.
Oh no. Okay.
So that one took me a little bit longer just because I had to find all of the footage. So it can take me anywhere from like 5 minutes to like 45 minutes,
Right.
especially if it's like longer and I have to edit more. But I honestly love it. I love editing. The only thing is like I'm starting to not have as much time for it. Like I love doing little clips from stream. That is like that's how I decompress after stream most of the time.
Yeah.
Or like I will end a stream and I'll sit here for an extra like hour just finding a clip, editing it, posting it. Now that we can schedule tweets, oh my, I don't have to sit here as long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Totally.
Yeah, so that's like, yeah, my decompress time, but if I have to like film a YouTube video or something on like an extra day, I just can't. I just don't have the energy to like edit and film and oh,
I mean, you stream 5 or 6 days a week, right? Like
4.
4 days a week, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
still a lot. And but your streams are long as well, right? Like, I mean,
It depends. Yeah, like I can my benchmark used to be like 4 hours and now
yeah,
it's getting a little longer. I stream more for like 5, 5.5 sometimes. It depends on if I like really enjoy what I'm playing. Like the last game that I played through was Silent Hill 2 and that's one of my favorite games of all time. So I
yeah,
find like every stream I blinked and it was already 5 hours and I'm like,
yeah.
well,
Much easier to create content when you're into what you're playing as well.
Mhm,
Um,
100%.
yeah. So, I mean, speaking of games that you're into, you played Death Stranding. You also have one of those little baby things. I don't get it. Explain to me what is good about this game in any way. Beautiful, gorgeous,
It is
fantastic
beautiful.
looking. Um,
Mhm.
on the entertaining scale, carrying carrying ladders around and your entire objective is just trying not to fucking fall over every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so my view on Death Stranding is I love it. I
right.
love it very much. I will never play it again. It's one of my favorite games that I've played in recent memory. I will never play it again because it
Right.
is a slow burn, but I really enjoyed it because I went in completely blind. I wasn't spoiled at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in my chat also didn't know. So we were all kind of experiencing it together. And it's also dark. I like a lot of darker themes.
Mm,
So when something's dark and creepy and like kind of depressing in games, but not like real world depressing, like
yeah.
horror depressing, that's my good area. Like
Yeah.
if we start to like dive into like the Life is Strange depressing, I can't do it. I back out. I bow out. I have never played Life is Strange. I played halfway through the first one and I was like, nope,
I mean,
too
we
sad
spoke
and
about this
real.
a little earlier. Like, you haven't played Last of Us 2 either.
Yeah.
Or you haven't
Oh
played the
man.
first Last of Us. I'm not going to give any spoilers on Last of Us 2, but Last of Us 1 is, I mean, and everybody dies. Like, like, it's depressing as fuck,
Oh,
man.
absolutely, yeah. I've heard only depressing things about that, but I've heard it's also good, but I also don't really know anything about it, which is
Oh, it's a
fun.
it's a 10 out of 10 game. I would
Oh,
say
yeah.
it's an absolute 10 out of 10. My cat is trying to join us for the podcast today.
Hi.
Hello, Greg. He's being
Greg! Oh my gosh, he's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
he is annoyingly attractive, which makes all his annoyances like, and he's just so
I
floppy. He's like floppy.
I
So
don't think I've ever seen a short-haired cow with curly little hair like that.
yeah, so Greg Greg is a Devon Rex. You know what a sphinx is, right?
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say it looks very sphinxy, but with hair.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so he has this curly hair that feels like a lamb's wool. So you
Mhm.
know those fluffy pillows? Like, you go into the store and you pick up one of those fluffy pillows, and you're like, "Oh my god, fluffy pillow." That's what Greg feels like. And
Oh, Greg, an angel.
yeah, yeah, he's a cuddler as well. So what's happening is he's coming up to the side of my chair and he's poking me with his hand to try and get my attention. So
Oh, that's so cute.
yeah, I've never been so depressed in a game. Like,
Mhm.
Last of Us 2 is probably the most depressing game I've ever played in my entire life. But it
Damn.
also made me laugh. It also made me happy. Um, you know, it also scared me. It also, you know what I mean? And it was
Mhm.
so enthralling that Jamie, like, I played it on the PlayStation, which is on my TV, right? So after a 10-hour day, I'm like, you know, she
Yeah.
starts sitting next to me. So we played 2 games, both with like 12 hours of cinematics, you know,
Oh, wow.
back to back,
Mhm.
2 hours a night. So
Dang.
yeah, it's crazy. You should give it a go. I think you'll.
I should. I got The Last of Us HD with my PS4, so I have it. I tried to play it one night at midnight, and as soon as I heard a clicker for the first time, I shut it off and went to bed, and I've never touched it since. I'm like, absolutely not. I started playing it at the wrong time, and I need to go back and play it again, but oh my god, it just scared the daylights out of me. I'm like, "Oh, absolutely not."
Have you watched the first part of the game, like Last of Us One? Have you
Yeah,
watched?
I played through the first part, watched the first part,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "All right, damn, they really throwing us into this, aren't we? Okay."
Yeah,
But
the way she dies is probably one of the most traumatic experiences of my life. You know, like I grew up in the violence era of things. You know, I'm a whole decade in front of you, so when
mm,
I grew up as Bruce Willis, you know, like Rush Hour, things like that, right? All the old classics I recommend highly.
mhm,
But you know, like everything's violence, 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 violence.
absolutely.
That death had me broken immediately. I'm just like,
Yeah, no, that sucked. That sucked. I remember that very vividly. I was yeah, because I was sitting on the floor in my mom's living room playing, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay. This is one of these games. I get it."
yeah, and it gets worse. Like,
Oh, absolutely. I any post-apocalyptic stuff is just a frickin' downer.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're kind of living in a.
Hell, I mean, look, I've seen a couple screenshots and like little bits of The Last of Us cutscenes talking about things, and I'm like, wow, that feels real.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like, the game came out at the wrong, also incredibly right time. Where
Mhm.
like, you know, we're in this. I mean, we're in a weird state. I mean, I wouldn't say it's post-apocalyptic, but it kind of is. You know, people are freaking out. People are taking all the toilet paper, and you know,
Yeah, living through
still,
that was one of the weirdest experiences that I've had. Like,
yeah,
we would have to plan our grocery trips so we would be able to get there before other people would take everything. Like, it was
yeah,
just wild. Like, walking through a grocery store and seeing all the shelves empty was like, "What's happening right now?" And that
yeah.
when
Is this real?
yeah, like, I remember one of the first times we went out to the grocery store and when everything started, everyone was freaking out. And I'm very, like, empathetic. I get a lot of energy from other people. Like, I just when someone else is anxious, I can tell and I feel it. Like, I can tell how other people are feeling if it's, like, pretty intense enough because I start to also feel the same way. So
Yeah,
going into a grocery store where everyone is panicking, like, we were trying to get stuff, and I remember I forgot to get, like, a drink that I wanted, and we were thinking about going back to get it, and then I just started having a panic attack. I'm like, "We just need to leave. We just need to leave. I do not care. We just need to get out of this grocery store
yeah.
because I'm not having a good time." And it was awful, but
And it
luckily
feeds
that
into
has
itself
definitely
as
calmed
well.
down. Hmm?
Sorry, it feeds into itself as well. Like one person panics, the next person panics, the next person
And then
panics.
it just yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
my wife actually is one of those people that is just kind of like, ah, okay, yeah, it's fine, we'll get through it. I'm like
Mhm,
freaking out, like, you know, because you
mhm.
know, like, you know, I'll go into something, I won't panic straight away, but if I get to a point where I panic, it's more of a like, you know, like I go into full commando leader mode. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I gotta get this done. I gotta get my toilet paper. I'm gonna beat that guy up if he goes near my. Not really, but and my wife's like, okay, I'm just gonna get this and da da da. Jamie, do you not see what's happening? She's like, yeah, it's great. I've got my coconut
Yeah.
water.
Oh my gosh.
Like, wait,
It's
what?
literally the same as me because Max is so calm all the time.
Yeah,
Like very, very focused, chill, doesn't freak out like ever about anything. Cause he's like, it's whatever. It's happening. Like you can't change it. Just deal with it. And I'm like, blah, having a panic attack at the grocery store. And he's like, it's fine. Just let's go. And I'm like, ah. It's
it's the
totally
same. It's the
relatable.
same for me, dude. Like, uh, Jamie's so chill. Me, I'm just like, yeah, freaking out. But speaking of Max, we just
Mhm.
met Max on stream recently, right?
Yes, he was
How
on stream for the first time.
how was that? That was like I saw a little bit of the clips that you put out. Obviously, I can always be in stream, but I
Mhm.
follow your Twitter pretty, religiously because of the content you create. Um, you know, but I mean, that's the first time you've been streaming 3 years. He obviously has seen you blow up.
Mhm.
How was that for him? Like, what was his experience in that?
I know at first he was very, very overwhelmed because there's a lot happening, right? Like for me, I watched myself start with one viewer and now I have like
Yeah,
almost 200. Like I have grown and been used to that as it's happened,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he is just jumping into it at like what's happening. And
It's like, hey,
my
oh,
chat tells
200
me,
viewers. Okay.
yeah, all right. My chat tells me that I'm pretty good at reading chat too, and that's like like that's like not normal, which is fair. Whatever. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know why I can just focus on chat pretty easily. But I think it's just like I'm pretty good at it. I've also had practice, and he's just sitting there like, okay. But by the end of it, I think he was like really chill. He said that he wants to come back on stream sometime, but
There you go.
no, it was so much fun. I think it was a wonderful, wonderful time.
It's definitely an experience thing. Like reading chat, like at when you first start, you're reading like one, two people talking.
Hmm.
Super simple.
Yeah.
After you have 100 people in a chat, the first time you have 100 people in a chat, it's insane. There's no way you can ever keep up with it, and then your
Mhm.
brain just sort of gets used,
Oh, for sure.
and you're able to see actual questions between. That was awesome, and things like that, and the
Mhm.
ones in chat. But yeah, I mean, like he's obviously seen you getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
Mhm.
Um, how does that affect him? And you said he's blasé about a lot of things. So does he care, or this is your
No,
this is your
it's just
job?
he's like, "Good job." He's proud,
Yeah,
but and he tells his friends stuff, he talks about it and, like, whatever, but, like,
brags probably.
we've been dating for almost 5 years now, so he's been around since way before I started to stream,
Yeah,
and he helped, like, encourage me to start streaming, actually, because I remember one day when I was in college, we were in my student house in the kitchen, and I think I was just talking about something, and he looked at me and he told me that I would be good as like an internet personality. Like I would be a good content creator
yeah.
because like it's like I just give off a vibe and I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm
Because
like,
you're
"Well, shit,
funny.
that's what I wanted to do forever." So, and that just kind of stuck in my head and I'm like, "All right." And then I just kind of took off from there. So like without him, I feel like I don't know if I would have really started to stream.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, because you were
but
just creating content before then, right? Like up until streaming, you were just making videos, and I mean, were you looking to be a director? Were you looking to make movies? Like, where was your headspace at? Always,
honestly, um, I've also wanted to be an actress and like a voice actress since I was way younger than even like I knew what content creation was.
right?
I basically this funniest part about this is the show that made me really want to become an actor was Lost because I watched it and I watched all the behind the scenes stuff because I loved it so much and I'm like, "Oh my god, like I would love to I would love to be able to do this." And um, after that, I just kind of started looking into more things online. And because I've been on YouTube forever, I was there back in the day when people were making a lot of like machinimas and stuff, like little stories games. And I'm like, damn, like I would like audition for voice parts, but I was like 10 and people could tell that I was 10. So I'm
Yeah.
like, obviously, it's not freaking gonna go anywhere, but like I've always been interested in it. But now that I'm like older and just I guess have more experience and more ability. It's something that I'm actually starting to look into again is like voice acting and
Oh, you'd be a
stuff.
fantastic voice actor. I mean,
Thank
I know.
you.
Okay, so as an animator, I'm always listening to people's voices, like,
Mhm,
annoyingly so. So if I get something that is like a soundbite that's like 10 seconds,
mhm.
Greg is extra interested in you. Just FYI, he's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
Ashley,
love.
okay." Yeah. Jamie's come to grab him now. So, um, Yeah, I mean that's something I do. Like I listen to people's voices 1,000 times. Like I'll watch something 1,000 times in a row.
Mhm.
Imagine listening to somebody say, "That's exciting."
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
literally 1,000 times. You to go in and do all the lips and stuff like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when somebody has a soothing voice, it's always I can tell you'd be great at it. There you go. See
Oh,
now this
thank
is
you.
this is the meet cute for your next. You know.
Mm.
Do you think that like streaming is like a launching pad for going into movies, going into film, going into acting? That I mean, it seems like a natural progression to me. You know?
Yeah, I would totally say so, but I feel like there's also this stigma that people who are content creators cannot act. I feel
Yeah.
like there are so many things that I've seen, like reaction videos, commentary channels, and all this, like everybody talking about like these really shitty productions that have happened from like people from YouTube and TikTok and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, and that makes me nervous because like I know that it's a different world,
It
right?
is.
Like
Yeah.
going from online media to like mainstream media, like is such a different ball game.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you the humor and stuff is different. Like it's just a whole different world. But I mean, I would love to do voice stuff and stay in the same sphere. Like I would love to be in like I would love to be in video games. I would love to do video game
Yeah.
voice acting because that
What's your
just seems
dream
so
character? What would be
Hmm?
your dream character? Like,
Oh.
do you have like a signature voice that you do? Most voice
Oh,
actors have like a "Hey, how's it going?" Like
I don't really know. I feel like I just do a lot of different things because I haven't really like I'm starting to think about it more, but I haven't thought about it enough to have like a signature voice. Maybe I do. Maybe people know that I do and I don't.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't really have a dream character because I would just love any experience. I would just love to experience the world of it.
yeah.
I think it would be super cool.
I
Just
I think you have a more interesting what's her name? Sarah Silverman voice. It's Sarah
oh.
Silverman. Yeah. Like similar, but I think yours is more approachable. Like with her, I feel like, she's I can feel very like she's very strong, you know.
Mhm.
And I always feel like kind of until she played what was that girl's name in Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh my
Um
god. Vanellope? Is that her name?
Penelope. Is that right? We're
I
just
think
screwing
so.
this up so bad, but maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Until she played that, I was like, everything she played was very like sort of aggressive, and that's sort of her
Mhm.
personality, right? And then
Yeah.
she played that, and I was like, oh my God, it's soft and nice and cute. I just want to hug her. Yeah. So I think like a character like that would be absolutely perfect.
I would love that so much. I think that'd be so much fun.
You should definitely look into games though, because I mean, they hire voice actors all the time.
Oh, for
Um,
sure. 100%.
but
Um,
it's
I
a lot
want
more difficult than people know when you get like 80 pages of lines and they're like, okay, are
Mhm.
you ready to read this? And you're like, raw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with mocap. Because they do a lot of
Mhm.
mocap shooting and the lines at the same time. So when you do mocap stuff, you know, it's just like you're seeing it for the first time before you do it. So
Mhm.
the actors that do mocap are insanely good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that's really cool too. Because I went to school for animation, but like kind of with more of like the program wasn't good, but we like
Most of them aren't, to be honest.
oh god, yeah, it was bad. But we kind of had a lens for game stuff
Right.
just because I think that's what everyone really wanted to do that
Well,
was in the
especially in
program pretty
Toronto.
much.
Toronto is big for
So
games.
yeah, yeah. So I very briefly dabbled in game dev after college. It didn't work out just because it was just game dev is freaking hard. Like especially in like just as the tiny group of people and it's just impossible. But I mean, I tried and I that's when I realized that I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this just isn't my thing. Um I'm not I'm not really enjoying it. So that's kind of when I started to stream is when that fell apart. I was streaming when that was still happening. And I feel like as I started to stream, that's why for the first, I say a good year of my streaming like career, I didn't really take it that seriously.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the brain for it because I was trying to like think about multiple projects. And then as I kept streaming and then I realized that this is like, this is maybe what I want to do. Um, I started to take it more seriously, and then the game dev thing just kind of disappeared in the background.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
you get pulled towards what you're passionate about. I remember
yeah.
I was doing this like you, I used to make videos, and I was doing this course.
Mhm.
Wait, I need to give you the full context of that story. Essentially, I'm making these funny videos. They started to go pretty viral, like 100,000. This is 10 years ago, mind you. 100,000 hits on YouTube was
That's
a lot.
crazy.
That's crazy
Yeah.
amount, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like holy shit, like this is blowing up. We get invited to go travel around Australia to meet up with other content creators. And then when I met other content creators that were so far ahead of me in editing and like After Effects, and I was just like, okay, I need to get better. So I was like, I
Yeah.
search out getting better at making videos.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I start doing this. It's really boring. I fucking hate it all. I'm
Mhm.
interested enough because it's cool as fuck, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then this guy walks in. His name's Nathan. He walks in and he's like, "Oh yeah, today we're gonna animate some stuff." I'm like, "Oh." I set 2 keys and that was it. I was like, "I love this.
Yeah,
I love it."
sick. That's awesome.
My entire life become animation,
Mhm.
and it wasn't until like I'd really hit all the goals. Like, I wanted to work in movies. I wanted to work on a Marvel movie, which was my biggest thing. And now that I have, I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh my gosh,
but
I have a fun story too about that.
oh yeah, you worked at a.
Yeah, I worked at very briefly out of school, I worked at a company that was responsible for making movies 3D, and
I know this
they
company already. You don't even have to. I know exactly the company.
I worked there, and yeah, I worked there for like a month and a half, and then I quit because it was not for me. But I did some work. I saw some Marvel movie stuff, and yeah, Marvel is a demanding company.
It's a demanding industry. I
Mhm.
You know what? I thrive so much under pressure that the pressure just I got addicted to it, and then I really let it get to me. Like, I won't name any companies or anything like that, but there was a certain movie and company that I worked for that I ended up working for 2 months straight, basically every
Oh,
day, and every day was over 12 hours a day. And Jamie's mom got really sick, to the point where she got really sick, and over 2 years we ended up losing her. But at that time was when she was first really sick, um, and she passed away basically over that movie. And
oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
yeah, I know. I mean, we're good now, but at the time, they called Jamie to go back to Australia, right? We're from Australia, so they called Jamie to go back to Australia. He flies home at 9:30 p.m. I get a phone call after the work knew this. I left early because of this. Get a phone call. Hey, can you come back in? Like, I know your wife's left. Can you come back in? So that's the kind of craziness. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure. And I was there until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, yeah. So I understand you fully. Um, the movie industry is they just don't care.
No, absolutely not. Everybody is disposable. They know that no matter how hard they push you, if you quit, there'll always be someone else that wants to work in movies. So they'll
Exactly.
get an infinite lineup of people to just
Exactly.
beat into the ground with all the work that you have to do.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that think they're safe, but that goes all the way up to the actors, man. If an actor pisses a director off enough, they'll just replace them. They're like, okay, well, you cost $2 million, you break your contract. See you later. Now I can get somebody for $200,000. They'll probably do a better job because they're not arrogant, So
Mhm.
it's crazy, man.
It
Um,
is. It is crazy.
Voice acting is a sweet spot, though. I think. I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
skilled work. Get to do a lot of cool stuff. I saw
Mhm.
that some of the voice acting stuff for The Last of Us 2, and I thought that was insane. But people attack everybody for games like that. Like
That
the girl
was,
hurt. Yeah.
and oh my gosh, the silliest thing I've, oh, not the, but it's freaking terrible and ridiculous. It's like
Yeah. How do you get this into your head that
yeah, that this voice actor did not write, is not the character, did
yeah,
not do anything in the process of making that story the way it is,
yeah,
except for speak it.
yeah. Well, and it's completely falsified by every account ever. There's nothing, it's literally nothing is real.
Yeah.
How can you possibly hold that against her in any way?
Yeah, I know. It's the silliest thing, and I hate it so much. Yeah, no, that I've never played The Last of Us, but funny enough, all of that made me actually plan out playing The Last of Us 1. I already had a plan to play it with Max um in like the next like couple like weeks or so. I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
had no intention ever to play it. I'm like, it's whatever. I know it's really good, but I don't really have a drive to do it. If I really want to know the story, I'll like watch a cinematic movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But after all that like vitriol came out, I'm very petty.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm gonna play it now. Thank you. You have made a new person play the game by being such a wiener.
Speaking of wieners, you deal with a constant stream of douchebags in your stream. Tell
I
me
think
about that. That's
Oh, yeah. See, that is just the reality of women online anyways. I just feel like there's always people that seek out to just be creepy and gross and just like, you know, just try to get under our skin or make us uncomfortable or like whatever. I just laugh and then it's also content. So I'm like, thanks for bringing sweet, sweet content to me.
yeah, free content.
Yeah, free content. Thank you, friend. But also, like, when I first started streaming, this is the thing, like, I've built up a thicker skin, which I think, unfortunately, that this has to happen. But streaming has helped me, like, have a better self esteem for me personally, just because I feel like it is given me an avenue to be more myself. But it's also given me, like, an aspect of my personality where um, I don't take as much to heart as I used to.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started streaming, when someone would come in and call me ugly, it would ruin my day. But now I'm just like, "Okay, so good for
Yeah.
you, friend.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Thanks, strange
Beautiful.
guy.
Go away."
Yeah. I'm not ugly, I'm just not your type.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like, man, honestly, I feel bad for like, when you hear it enough, it'll still get to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I had like a bunch of people all at once just being terrible, it would be like, yeah, okay, this is shit. But like what before it was like that one person would ruin me, and now there's like I have like five in a stream that'll come in and be awful, especially if you're sitting and just chatting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just chatting.
That's not specifically a girl thing. I know girls get a lot worse than dudes do, but it just
Mhm.
seems to be the attraction for people to come and say something horrible.
Oh yeah, just chatting is honestly some of the most fun I have because I just love talking to my community. I love chatting and bonding and joking around. And I feel like that's when my chat gets the most cursed and silly. Is when we're just sitting and just chatting because everyone just spirals off of each other and it's hilarious. But
Yeah,
also it definitely brings in more weird people.
yeah,
And we have a thing now in my chat where like whenever people start to get weird, it's like, oh man, it smells like just chatting in here now. Just because it's like you can just smell it in the room. It's like, oh God, they're coming. I can smell them. It's disgusting. It's
yeah.
just
A
the
big
way it
shout
is.
out to the
But,
mods that do protect the streamers. I mean,
oh,
you'd never
absolutely.
be able to do it without mods, like ever.
No. Oh my God, my mods
It's
are
impossible.
fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Generally, my mods will let something go on a little bit for the content, and then I think we play little games on who gets to ban them, and like because it's fun because nobody adult and nobody that is like actually I dare say contributing member of the community really gives a shit about what anybody says. But I remember when it
Mm.
first started happening, it was a lot bigger, and it was always the fat thing. 100%. That was like great to the wherever, that painful and it just kept happening. And I get sent DMs. Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but you're really fat. You should probably end your own life. And
Oh
I'm
my
just like,
god.
and
People
I'm
are
just
the
like, whoa, dude. Especially when I started seeing some success on streaming. Yeah, like people would be like, you know, it would send me DMs about, you know, things I've said, or I probably know that it's easy to lose your train of thought and just ramble on shit for 15 minutes, and somebody will take 1 second of that and find a reason to hate you for it, you know. But no,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get a lot.
Yeah.
You get a lot though. Like I think women in general get a lot more than men.
Yeah. But something that I've learned, especially since like you're dealing with just chatting, is that anyone that comes in and says something hurtful to you doesn't know you,
Yeah,
and they're just picking something out of the air that they think will
gonna
bother
affect you.
you.
Yeah,
And so like they don't know you, they don't matter, and it's just like they are just sad and need a hobby. And it's just like when I started to get that through my head that like these words are empty and hollow and they are literally just being said because they think that's what's going to bother you.
yeah,
And eventually I just kind of started to realize that like it's like some of the things like don't really bother me. Like people used to like last year, people decided to target me and say that I look like Weird Al and think it was a bad thing. And now like I've literally drawn a fake mustache on myself and dressed up as Weird Al on stream and
yeah,
freaking done dramatic readings of his songs. It's like, yeah, I look like Weird Al. I've known that for a long time. Thanks, friend. I'm very aware of it. So it's like as soon as you like take something that people think hurts you and like run with it and like
yeah,
meme it, they can't
yeah.
hurt you anymore. Like weaponize it yourself
Yeah,
and like
it doesn't
take
become a
in the
chink in your
words.
armor; it becomes the armor itself, right?
Exactly, exactly. So like people be like, "Oh man, you look like Weird Al." I'm like, "Absolutely. Here's this picture of me like posed like Weird Al in the same like freaking look. Look, see, I am." It's
I
just
mean, speaking of weird pictures, a little while ago, not that long ago, you know what I'm gonna say, okay?
yeah.
This is why I don't send people questions before I tell them. But you did the most accurate representation of The Rock dressed in the most quirky and unapologetically you way I could ever see a parody, I guess, of The Rock. And not only did he respond, but he retweeted and it went fucking crazy. Like,
Yeah.
how did
I that was the weirdest night I've had in so long. And the craziest thing is, to this day, there are still people like when I'm like, "How did you find me?" There's some people are literally like The Rock. I found
Yeah.
you through Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that a thing that's actually happening to me? It's so strange. But yeah, no, that night I got tagged by a friend and it was just Ashley, holy shit. And I threw my phone. I'm like, absolutely not. That's not happening. And and Max is like, what's going on? I'm like The Rock retweeted me. He's like, what? Like, no, I'm not kidding. And then I showed him my phone. He's like, what the hell is going on? And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's still something that I don't feel like actually happened. I
Yeah.
have it bookmarked just because I look at it sometimes because I'm like, that didn't happen, right? And I'm like, no, it did. It's there. I see it. It happened.
Wait, you have
And
a bookmark? Send me this bookmark. I want to show stream.
oh God, okay.
Okay, yeah. Send me this bookmark. Chat, do you want to see this bookmark of Ashley dressed up as Wayne The Rock Johnson? Of course you
Oh
do.
my God.
Of course you do. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Let's get this up. It's gonna be lit.
oh man. There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. Yeah. Send it to me in the chat.
Oh, in Twitch
Oh, I
chat?
got it. You know, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect.
All right. Oh man. Oh, it's so silly.
Okay, I found it. Okay, I wonder if I can. Yeah, I said to you earlier, this stuff doesn't really work that much. Okay, here we go. I'm pretty sure I can just. Here we go. All right, chat. I don't know if this sound's gonna work here, but I'm gonna make sure it's. Hey. Yeah, here we go.
This is the best I can do. I'm the Rock now. I even wore the necklace because he has a necklace in it. I just don't have a fanny pack. I just have my wrist brace in front of me.
You look genuinely pleased with yourself as well. Like the funniest part about that is how genuinely pleased you are.
Oh,
And
I was because like the funny thing is I did that 100% on purpose. Like the most on purpose. Woke up, I'm like, I'm gonna be Dwayne the Rock Johnson now because I bought that black turtleneck like right before that. I'm like, it needs to happen. And
yeah,
everyone came and was like, Ashley, you look so fancy today. Oh my God. I'm like, I look fancy, but this is what I'm really doing.
yeah.
Cause I think I had like a hard part of the game to do. And I'm like, I just need some of Dwayne the Rock Johnson's energy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I know I could use that 100% of the time in my life. Actually, my boss, it reminds me of Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I always say, why do you say Dwayne the Rock Johnson? I find there's two ways of like talking about Dwayne, right? You either
Yeah.
say Dwayne the Rock Johnson or you say The
Or
Rock, and everybody
Rock,
knows.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why I say like use the full name, but I just do. I think it's because my chat ever since then, they get into just like spurts where they just make puns of his name.
right.
And so now like Dwayne the Rock Johnson is Dwayne the Sock Johnson or whatever the heck like that. And they
Yeah.
just go off forever. And so now he's just Dwayne the Rock Johnson to me forever. It's just the way it is.
Did he like message you or anything like that and say, "Hey, that was dope" or anything like that?
No. He didn't, which was unfortunate. He said in his tweet that
That
Santa
Santa
had
has
fanny
your
pack.
fanny pack.
I ain't ever got no fanny pack. I don't have a fanny pack still, Dwayne.
Dwayne, listen, if you're out there, what we need
I
from
have a
you
thing to
is
do.
something very simple. Look, it can be Versace or it can be Prada. But we're gonna need a fanny pack delivered to Ashley's door in Toronto.
Absolutely stat.
Stat. Fire the yeet train, okay? Like you've got to fire it physically by yourself out of a giant cannon that you need two hands to hold, okay?
Oh my god.
Get on it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I love that. Like, a bunch of my friends have been like have these crazy huge viral tweets. That one especially is massive. I don't know if you ever saw the American Dad one where he kicked the Amazon box. That went crazy, like 500, whatever. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
Videos. He does a lot of his videos go crazy. Like
Yeah.
even his little freaking the picture that he took while naked in the bathroom with
Oh
his feet on
yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
And now
Oh my.
everyone did that. Everyone did that thing. I've seen so many naked weird pose people.
Yeah. My favorite one was Aiden. He's like a controller player. He did it. And he's a bigger guy like me, right? And he gets up. He's got his girlfriend underneath trying to take the photo, and he's like, "This took a long time, man." I love that. Did you do it? You didn't do it, did you?
No,
There
I
was
didn't.
a
I don't have a bathroom that's suitable for me to even do that. I was thinking about
same.
it. I'm like, I don't think I could pose myself properly, and I just don't have a wall that's close enough behind me. I'm short, so I'm just
I mean, it's harder for girls as well because they gotta hold and hold, right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There's a lot.
dudes can hold with their thighs, the stuff that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna, we can make allowances for that, but I mean, he didn't. He was literally up high enough so anything hanging would
Was
be,
covered by like his chest, right? Yeah, yeah,
dude, that's hard, man.
yeah.
Actually, okay. All right, let's be honest here. Did you try it? Try
I
to.
did it. I literally looked at my bathroom. I thought about it. I looked at my bathroom like, there's no way in hell I will fall and die in this bathroom.
Okay. All right. Truth be told, I'm only telling you this because I like you. I've tried it to see if I could do it. Just to see if I could do it.
That's amazing, though.
And then,
That is
yeah.
great. Do it for the freaking memes. I
Yeah.
love it.
When I realized I could do it, then I was like, okay, that's that's great. That's it. That's all I
Good stuff.
need.
Yeah, pat on the back. It's like I can do the thing. That's all. That's all I got to know.
Yeah. So, all right, what's next for you? I mean, you're exploding in every sense of the word. What's coming up? Like
Um,
last year we were gonna do a bunch of traveling. You were right. You and
mm,
I were planning something big. I mean, chat obviously doesn't know about this, but you and
mm,
I were planning something fucking huge and out of our comfort zone. Literally 2 weeks before COVID hit, and then
Absolutely.
we're like rushing to get this stuff organized, because the offer was good, you know, and then
Mhm. Yeah, everything just it was literally the same time frame that everything just kind of went crazy.
yeah, yeah, it was literally weeks before, I think.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, we're pulling this, we're pulling that, not only are we pulling this, but we're pulling everything. Like
Yeah.
that's it, shut down, nothing. And I'd literally just come back from LA, um, and everyone was like, oh, we're freaking out, and I'm like, hang on a minute, do I need to get checked, or like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I felt fine, like I've been fine,
Mhm.
and yeah. So I mean, are you planning on getting that started up again? TwitchCon is closed. What's the
Um,
plans?
yeah, I've got like some really cool things going on in the background right now
Yeah,
that are still in the process. So it's just like I can't say anything. So
yeah, totally.
but cool things are happening. And even though I won't be able to travel, it really sucks because I had so many plans to travel and do so many things this year. And obviously that's all gone. But honestly, like I'm just kind of focusing on my content. At the beginning of this year, it really like my team confectionery started to really come together and like we announced I think it was in March. God, I have no concept of time this year, so apologize if that's wrong, but
Same, dude, same.
I got nothing. But confectionery is amazing. That's a really cool team that we have now. I love those ladies so much. And we're
It's
doing
a
cool stuff
team, or
too.
like it's a team, like a stream team, or sorry, yeah, okay,
Yeah, it's a stream team, sorry.
yeah,
A stream team, but, like, we have, like, a manager, OMG Vandy, who is absolutely incredible, freaking powerhouse, oh my god, and she just does so much for us and is, like, looking into doing cool stuff, so we have cool stuff there, there's cool stuff just on my own, and yeah, like, I just kind of I guess I'm taking this year and this time that I haven't been able to do anything now to like focus like, on stream again and try to come up with different fun ideas and do things and I guess just upgrade a bit
yeah. Uh,
and just kind of do more stuff for me. I guess like I've been taking more time off this year. I think also because with everything going on, like I just don't have as much energy
yeah,
to
totally.
continue doing things.
Well,
So
it's hard to keep it up, and we spoke about this a little earlier, but you and I both fall into the trap of getting overly hyped. Like we get so hyped, and it's not that we're not hyped or we don't feel that way. Like it's not
yeah.
we're not portraying a different personality on and off camera. What's happening is we're falling into this hype train, and it builds and snowballs to the point
Hmm.
where we exhaust ourselves. So 4 or 5
Yeah.
hours of streaming is insane amount of effort coming out, and people don't realize when you finish stream, you're like, holy fuck, I'm tired. I've
Mhm.
essentially been performing way for 5 hours. There's no artist out there that 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Which some people stream like 8 hours a day, and I'm like, I could not.
Yeah,
Like, when I approach 6-hour streams, I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah.
what is happening?"
Well, you don't
And
take
I just need
breaks
to go and
either,
chill.
right? You just
Mm,
yeah. I mean, obviously, if you need to.
yeah. Like, I don't take that many days off. I've been starting to more, like I said, but yeah, like, sometimes if I do, like, extra streams or stream for extra long, I'm like, "Hey, I don't have it in me to do another stream today, like, sorry." Um, and I just have to take more time for myself, which last year I feel like if I ever got well, like tired, I would feel way more guilty taking time off. And I feel like something that people don't talk about that much is like the guilt that you feel taking days off stream.
Totally,
Like
totally.
taking a day off and even like if you take a day off stream, if you're not doing work for stream, you feel guilty and terrible. Like if I
Yeah,
take a day off and I'm not working, the whole day I'm just thinking about how I'm not streaming, how I'm not doing anything for the stream, how I'm not like whatever. So usually like if I take some days off, even the last time I took a week off like last month, I completely rebranded during my time off
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I can't stop. But that was more fun because it was more art related, and I haven't done like art for myself in a while. But
I think
I always
stream
feel like,
affects differently than like I don't feel as guilty if I don't tweet for a couple of days, but I do
mm,
start to feel guilty. Like 3 or 4 days, I'm like, damn, I haven't tweeted anything, you know.
mm.
But
Oh
stream,
yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, when I don't tweet for like one day, I'm like, I feel bad
yeah.
because I feel like I've built such an audience on Twitter itself, and I'm just like, damn, I didn't post like any content for Twitter. Like, damn, that
Yeah.
sucks. And like, I didn't post videos. I didn't post like shorts for Twitter because sometimes I make content just for Twitter.
Well, and
And
there's
it's been
different people on each platform as well. Like, I mean, you could put the same video on TikTok. Well, okay, TikTok is gone now. I mean, you're off TikTok. You've gotten rid of that, right?
I haven't gotten rid of my TikTok. I just haven't used it in so long. I haven't used it since
Yeah,
spiraled, you know?
yeah.
I should, 'cause, I mean, I don't really use it anymore. I
Well,
honestly,
now you can't because it's like super invasive, like malware, basically.
yeah, so I honestly, just because I didn't use TikTok ever, I haven't been paying too much attention to it. I just know a lot of people are freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But I used TikTok because whenever people would ask me about it, literally TikTok is the best software I have found for video editing on your phone.
By
Like,
far, so
oh my God,
easy.
it's amazing.
By
Like,
so easy, dude.
oh my God, they're fantastic. Like, if I just had that software alone, I don't need it to be attached to a social platform. I just want that isolated little video editing app they have. I want it because it's so good. Like, so many of the videos that I had, um, I literally just used I just used TikTok to
Yeah.
edit them.
Then you zoom in a little bit, get rid of that.
Like,
Yeah.
God, it's wonderful. Like the last couple videos that I put on TikTok, I kind of duoed using my computer and TikTok
Right.
for them. But
I mean, nothing's ever gonna beat like Premiere Pro or something like that. I think the
mhm.
fastest thing I can edit in now is Premiere Pro, and I've been
Oh,
editing now for like 15 years, so I think even more.
mm,
And you know what? Like, it's so different. The type of editing is so different. I walk into obviously I work in a professional studio, so when I see a professional, like somebody, they're like, "Hey, yeah, if you want to do that, just use this hotkey." Like,
yeah. Oh,
wait,
hotkeys.
wait,
Oh
what
my
the
gosh.
fuck? What
Yeah.
the? I need what the? You can what? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
check this out. I'll edit this right now without touching the mouse. Click, 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 click. And you're just sitting there like, that's the difference between me and you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm not at that level, but whenever anyone asks me about editing and what to use, I always say I use Premiere.
Yeah,
And Premiere sucks if you don't know the hotkeys. Premiere's
exactly.
editing flow will increase, like the time will increase like 3 times if you don't use hotkeys because it's so hard and so
Yeah,
silly. Like,
yep.
God,
Everything's under a menu, and you can't get to that menu any other way by going to that menu, scrolling
yeah,
through. And the thing about scrolling through a menu is your brain's going to calculate all the different names on it. So you got to read all that every single time. That's why it's super slow.
yeah,
Hotkeys,
yeah.
oh, amazing.
Hotkey is best.
Yeah, man.
100%.
How many books? Are they books or games behind you? I can't tell.
They're games. I have a lot. I am one of those people who, I if I can help it, I will not buy a digital copy of a game at all.
Oh,
Like, I just
okay.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Because I just love having something like this. I just love having like this whole section, like, because when I'm streaming, I can talk and I can be like, that right there, like
It's
that
my
little section
stuff.
of my shelf is this whole series, this whole game series. And
Yeah.
it's just cool to be able to like show
Yeah.
that. And honestly, it's like a visual representation of like gaming throughout my life because I have like games from like PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 all the way to PS4 and Switch and
Yeah. I
just
mean,
everything.
I like the digital copies. I like to like compress my clutter. I think
Oh,
like
really?
well, yeah, I mean, I got 10 years on you, man. So I think
Fair.
like that clutter just got to a point where it was like I have so much stuff. I need to get rid
Mhm.
of it. And I'm actually starting to build up the nerdy again. Now, you
Mm.
can't see it, but I have those boxes next to me, like the really big ones.
Yeah.
I'm like slowly buying my Naruto figurines and, my One Punch Man, and, like going back all the way from my most nerdy to where I'm at now, which is somewhere in between,
Mhm.
But
Yeah, for sure.
you collect a lot of shit over the time, and I guess people send you stuff all the time as well.
Yeah, I do get stuff sent to me, and just things like that. Like that one box over there is just things that people have
Yeah.
sent me or have like made me and stuff, which is cool. And but like I know that if I have like 5 more years of this, I'm not gonna have room for everything. So
Exactly. Yeah. You have to cull
yeah.
a little bit. How do you choose?
See, I don't know. I haven't had to yet, so that's fine. I have like a box of games that I don't have on display. I found them. I forgot I had them at my dad's. Last time I was at my dad's, I saw them because he has like a room for me in a closet with my stuff in it, and I brought down this box and it's all games and game cases. I'm like, oh, I don't have room for any of these because I've maximized this now. I'm like, all right, these I have all the room that I need for these games, and then I find like a whole big box. I'm like, well. Okay, that's fine, I guess.
Now what? Yeah.
Mm,
It keeps going, man. It keeps going for a lot of years. You just keep, and then eventually you have to try and decide what you can and can't let go of, and that's a whole massive tears and
yeah.
and guilt. And I never thought I'd get guilty over like things that I own, but I definitely do. I'm like, oh, you'll miss me.
Yeah,
You'll
you
miss
get
me.
attached to things,
Yeah.
100%.
Ashley, I appreciate you hanging out with me today so much.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun.
One of the biggest things I can tell, when I either like somebody or don't like somebody, is how they grow as a person. And when they grow as a person in success, you can tell pretty quickly whether they are a good person or a bad person. You have grown tremendously since I met you in the biggest way. Like, and you just haven't changed at all. You're still the same adorable, amazing, kind-hearted, and incredibly inspiring person I've met in a long time. Really. And I just love you so much, man. Like I can't explain that to you in any other way. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and
Of course, thank you for
I just
having me.
I appreciate it, man. I just appreciate your friendship, and like there's very few people out there that get to your size and still keep up with their friends, from way back in the day. Even though as Twitch streamers, we don't talk that much, we have an understanding that it's the same friendship from start to finish, regardless of what happens, right? And when people change, I mean, we talked about it where, like going for partner, how stressful,
Yeah.
and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
how you're like super hypercritical of everything. I'm glad you got through it, and I'm glad you are where you are, because you deserve it probably more than anybody I know.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna make you cry. I'll try not to.
Those are my feelings. Oh.
You're a cry. You and your feelings. But yeah. So yeah, man. It's so good to have you on, and I thank you so much for your time. Chat thanks you, and
Yeah, thank you, Kat, for hanging out. I appreciate it.
yeah. It's great. I'm gonna chuck the video on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it back there. I mean, you can watch it back on Twitch as well.
Mm,
But again, I will talk to you very soon. I think. I
yes.
hope. And
Hopefully, yeah.
all I can say to you is like nothing. I'm gonna say nothing because you're already doing so well. So nothing. That's what you get. You're doing so great. Nothing. There's no keep doing what you're doing or anything like that. It's just like nothing. You just change nothing. Just cool. All right, my
Thank you.
dude. Until next
All right.
time.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye. Let's get some hearts in chat for Ashley. Let's go.